Hey guys, what's up? Shao Style here. Another quick video here for you guys. Okay, so something I do encourage people to do is obviously, you don't have to, but if you want to get in contact with me or ask me any questions regarding editing and whatnot, or just check out my work, simply you can go to Twitter, you can send me a message there, or you can go to my Facebook page and send me a message there. So yeah, links will be in the description. You guys can check me out. So one question I got asked before is, what are good tutorials to learn to edit? Because most people by now should know that I edit for Paul's Hardware. I'm also editing for Kyle every now and then. But I've been asked about what's a good video to watch on the internet to learn how to edit properly or whatnot, because they want to do videos for YouTube as well and all this shit. My response is simply practice is and experience is way more important than any fucking tutorial that you can watch. Now, what I'm trying to say is that yeah, tutorials are definitely a good starting point. I mean, when I was starting out, basically I went through every single tutorial that Video Copilot had to offer. I basically went from the very first tutorial that they created to like the most recent, and I just kept it going. However, I'm now at a point that I don't do that anymore. When I was trying to practice how to improve with Cinema 4D, I pretty much watched a bunch of videos on how to get started with Cinema 4D, how to model and all that stuff. Right now, don't get me wrong, watching these tutorials is a good a good starting point. However, the problem is that from my experience, I was sitting around watching so many tutorial after tutorial after tutorial, and even though it was helpful in the sense to understand how, like, say After Effects or Premiere Pro or Cinema 4D or whatever software you're trying to learn, watching tutorials is good to get familiar with the software. However, if you are not interested in creating a specific style of video, if you're not interested in, say, like doing green screen, for example, then there's really no point in you watching tutorials on green screen. Now, the same could go with editing. When I was going to school, the teachers were pretty old school. They all kept talking about how they praised Alfred Hitchcock and Steven Spielberg, and they always used like classic black and white movies for examples on how to edit, how to light and all that crap, right? But obviously, editing videos for YouTube is completely different. A lot you can get away with a lot as long as it's presented in a manner that's funny and and entertaining. Because truthfully, most videos are created for YouTube. They tend to be watched maybe once or twice and that's it, and they get shared around. But it's not like, say, like a movie where you get to watch it over and over again. So you want to make sure that in a movie you get it done right. With YouTube, obviously you want to provide a good quality video for the viewers, but at the same time, you can't get away with doing like certain little like things that's not considered proper for like the film world, right? So yeah, if you're interested in editing, my encouragement to you is simply whatever software you have available at the moment, Movie Maker or I don't know what software. If you ever to get like maybe Premiere Pro or Avid or Final Cut, I mean, I don't know what. I really don't know what software you have at the moment, but start filming something and start messing around with it, and understand what it's like to cut. Start seeing like make mistakes. Be proud of making mistakes. That's how you gotta learn, by making mistakes. And that's the only way you can learn. Is just by fucking up. For the lack of better words. So you gotta keep it going. If you're learning a new software, I think what's more important for me is to understand the basics of it, understand what tools it has to offer, shortcuts and stuff like that. Because mainly, yeah, there's really no right or wrong way to start editing. I think getting started is just simply what's more important. Is simply getting started, right? And then, like as you start editing, if you come across a situation where you don't know how to do something, if you don't know how to, like, say, increase the audio levels of your footage, or if you want to, like, color correct your footage, you don't know how to do that, then that's when you need to start. Then that's the right time to start looking up tutorials on YouTube, right? Because one thing leads to another, and it's more beneficial for you and your time to actually look up videos that benefits you at the moment, rather than what I did. I just sat around and watched tutorials over and over and over again, and I just watched a bunch of tutorials that I thought was kind of interesting, but towards the end, in reality, it didn't really benefit me that much, because I was watching tutorials on crap that I wasn't like interested in reality. I was just watching it because I thought I had to watch a tutorial to improve, right? But I wasn't improving my skills in any matter. However, now if there's something specific that I want to do, I can start working on it because I have enough understanding of how the software works. If there's something I don't know how to do, Again, I can just type it in, say Google search or on YouTube. Thankfully, we're in a time where this is about a tutorial for any situation that you may have, or there's forums where you can ask questions and you get answers quick. Don't just watch tutorials thinking that by watching tutorial after tutorial is going to make you a better editor. Simply practice on editing, and when you come across a situation that you need some answers, then that's when you can use the internet to your advantage. Watch that video. That way you can help you solve your questions, and then you move on to the next step of your editing process, right? Because it's gonna be a never-ending learning process. That's for sure. Software is always updating. Software is always improving. Same thing like with hardware. Hardware and software, they work together in specific manner. So it is beneficial to understand how your software works with your hardware. That way you can optimize your computer, or you can balance it out so you can get the right performance that works for you, depending on what you do or what you want to do, right? So yeah, please feel free to keep asking questions. I'll do my best to answer you back, and if there's certain questions that I feel I can make a video out of to share with other people, then I'll definitely do it, right? So, and I'll definitely work on my speaking abilities. I'm not used to speaking to the camera towards the mic, so I'll work on that little by little, right? Like I said, everything's a learning process. Improving on what's important to you is more important than just watching any random video. So anyways, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.